Hello everybody, this is Carol from Friendly Quail. I'm here today to work on something for my bird journal challenge. I can check that one off. One of the things I have to do is decoupage. And I already did some and a little bit with the CD cover, the journal card for that. And, but I pulled out all of my bird stuff, and this was one I used in the CD cover, so I wouldn't use that in here. I have this Tim Holtz Birdie Darling collage paper, so I took out some pieces of that would fit on the cards, and I'll see if I decide which ones, if any I decide to do. I have this peacock one, but I don't think this would work for what I'm doing, because in order to appreciate this, you'd need it this way and long. I might be able to use that on something else. We'll see. So that one's going to go in the no pile. This has some birds on, but it's mostly plants, and I wouldn't get much bird on it if I use this, so that wouldn't work. Okay. This is a cocktail napkin, and I think this one might work. If I put it on a size like this, goes up into the one above, but here's where you would put for the tag, the hole. So I think that one will work. In fact, I really like that. It's pretty colors. So I'm going to keep that one out. This one hasn't been used at all, so I'll have to separate that. This is another one where there's birds, but they just kind of repeat, and they you know, if you don't use them that way, then they'd be sideways, so that's a no. This one here, another cocktail napkin. Sometimes you have to be careful, because a lot of times cocktail napkins have like the same picture turned or similar. So if it's not long enough, you would have like a bird head on it or something. So I think this would work as if I put it over a little bit further. That the birds are still on, but I'm just sort of doing that. If I put it up farther, I won't get that bird head, or I'll just get the very tip of it and you won't know what it is. I like that one. So that's a definite maybe. It's not a no. Okay, and this one is a feathers. And this one, let's open that up. It's also cocktail napkin size. It sort of repeats side to side, but not diagonally. So this one might work on something taller. And I like that it has the kind of blues in there, plus the browns, which you're going to see. I think this one would work. Yeah, I think I'll use that one for this one. And here's another one that I've used on some things before. This one's already taken apart. But look, I think this one will, if I do it so the birds are both on, can leave the sun here. Yeah. I like that one. I'm going to use that one. Okay, so now I kind of have it figured out what I'm going to do, so let's get started. I'm going to grab this because I know I need to take some napkins apart. I'm going to take some, if I can get it open. Come on, Mod Podge, there we go. I'm trying to wipe it off. I tried the thing where they use wax paper in it, but I don't know. If I wipe it, it usually does pretty good. Let's get some Mod Podge in here. And then I'll wipe off the top. Okay, so, this one here, I'm going to use the feather one. And you can get them apart, you know, just by the edge or something, you can do that, but because I do kind of like to use these white parts for other things. I've got the 2 white parts. Didn't even need to use tape. And these 2 white parts are still together. You can see the faint outline of the feathers on the one that was next to it. Okay. Let's get this on here. I think what I'll do is cut it in half. Sometimes if I just want a little bit, I use water around it. You can use a paintbrush or whatever, but I know I'm going to use pretty much half of it. So I'm just going to cut it in half. So now I can, while I'm working, I can say, I hope everyone's doing okay. All right. Let's see here. I want to make sure I get the blue ones on. Four. Really bulged up and made it difficult for me. I'm going to Mod Podge over it. Make sure everything gets stuck down. This is a time card. Actually, yeah. It's possible I might have to cut this one down if it's too tall. Might fit, but I think it's a little tall. I think they're 8 inches tall. That's okay. I'll just cut off the bottom a little bit if I have to. All right. And I will let that dry like this, and then I will sand off the edges after it's dry. So I'm going to put it aside to dry. Okay. All right, now let's see. These are different colors. This one I could get on here. These are just 6 inches, and that's what I've cut these pieces of cardstock. If I do it like this, I can get both birds on and most of the bee for in Birdie Darling Fly Across the Ocean. I think I'd like that one, but let's see what this one would be. I like that too. Oh, I really like this with what it says on it and everything. For sure I want to do this one. This has a blue tinge. I might not be able to do all of them because I only have so many things. And I don't want them all looking exactly the same either. So, I'm going to admit to you now that I have been making these ahead so that they will be scheduled for when I am in Wisconsin. I didn't want to advertise that fact until it was about time I was home, which this will be right before I'm home, because I don't like to let people know that my house is empty. I hope I don't regret that. I'll have to do some other kind of topper on this because I don't want to punch a hole right in the middle of the bird's head. I'll do something on the side maybe and put it in a pocket so it's to the side. This is really, it just makes it. But I like the way it looks. So once I get back, I'm going to be really working on this bird journal to finish it up. Anna's probably going to be done with hers before me. She works so quickly compared to me. I'm a slowpoke. But I hope you've been going over and checking out what she's doing. She's probably, like I said, way ahead of me. I definitely want this one. See if I can get this apart. Well, there's the first layer. I do like to use those for putting on things. They come in handy. If I have to, I will use a piece of tape. Got a few things that I pulled out for this journal that I had made ahead. I made, other times, not for any specific. I think I'm going to have to use a piece of tape. Not a specific, there we go. Not specifically for this. Like, I have some that I made in my 12 Days of Pockets that I use birds from a calendar, and they're so beautiful. and it's like an over the page type of pocket that I'm going to be putting in. And those don't have card. You know, it's a pocket. It doesn't have a card. Now I want to make sure I get his little tail on there, or her little tail. And I know I have to go up into this part. How far? I'll just cut it in half. I'll cut it like around that way. But if I want to use that bird on something else, I can. And we'll just do this. Okay. But I know Anna's been... I keep saying Anna. It's Anna. Ah, my granddaughter's Anna. I'm sorry, Anna. She probably thinks, what a dummy. Nah, she's too sweet to think that. I know she says she doesn't mind, but, you know, I just think it's respectful to get someone's name right. And people call my granddaughter Anna, and it drives her nuts. But she's kind of, everything kind of drives her nuts. I want to make sure I get this bird on here. Oop, I didn't get it quite on the corner, but it's going to be a tag, so that's going to be cut off when I cut around there. That'll work. Like I said, since it's going to be a tag, I'll just cut that corner off. Some of these are so pretty. You don't, you know, you hardly need anything else on them. And I'm putting them on this cardstock, which shows up underneath them. I've actually done that before, and I really, really like the way it looks. Okay. Number 3 down. A couple more to go. Good thing I have my big cutting table back there so I can get that on there. Well, let's do this one. I think I'll put it on. You'll get just a little bit of that egg on there. And the writing here will be upside down, but you won't notice because it'll be a tag. That way I get both birds on and part of a nest. Okay. Going to be tough to get it to stick on there. I'm in the right place. Once it's wet with Mod Podge, it likes to curl up a little and makes it harder to place. Okay, see if I can do this. Oh, see, I already did it wrong. This bird has to go down by the bottom so that this bird fits on. There we go. Ooh. I think I'll leave that on there temporarily. I used some of these in my sample journal, which I did a lot of bird things in my sample journal. I have a whole playlist about the things that I put in there. And you might recognize some of the birds here if you look at that. I really had fun doing that too. I have so much fun. Okay, let's just kind of cut this off. It's kind of wanting to rip off along the edge anyway, so there we go. Okay, put it aside to dry. Whoop. I got my thumb on here and it's stuck. If you do that, you just put a piece of, the stuff is still here, so I can put it right back. But you can always use another piece of napkin and just put it over it if it rips. It works. And let's see. I have 2 more of these. It's starting to dry on here. And my wife's getting dry too. There's my piece of tape from before. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to use this one and this one. Yeah. Okay. And since these are the last 2, I might just leave them here to dry. Well, they could end up sticking. See how wet? That's so wet when I first take them out. I have to dry it off. Okay. Get this one on here. Being just the size, I got to be careful how I put it on. Again, get it even with the bottom. Make sure the bird's on. Yeah, you know, I even got a little bit more of that bird on than I thought I would. And I won't have to poke a hole in the middle of his forehead. Oop, got too dry. Sometimes people put the things down with glue stick before they don't even always use Mod Podge, but I've never done that. And if your Mod Podge, I'm just using purchased Mod Podge here, but sometimes it stays, it's a little tacky because of the humidity. And one of my subscribers showed me how I can mix up something that would be better for Florida, but I haven't done it yet. So, oh well. But you can put a little beeswax or something on it. Like I have, actually it's for furniture. And it works pretty good. I am going to move this. And just that little bit of wax on there keeps it from sticking. Finish my thought. All right, and one more. And then I'm going to go back. This has two sides to it, but I like this side better. And this will be covered up then. But I have to put it up the right way. There's bees and flowers. And a hair of mine. Come on, get off of there. And again, I want to get this just so. I want most of the bee to be on there. I want the bird to be on there. And I want it to be to the bottom. Okay. Didn't get it exactly at the bottom, so I might have to cut it just a tiny bit shorter. But got quite a bit of the birdie darling on there. Fly across the ocean. This one you're not getting the music on, but that's okay because it's on the other one. There. Now, as far as these don't work the same as napkins. It was a little dry under there, it's wanting to lift up. Whereas a napkin, it'll go right through it. This one doesn't want to. Put a little bit more underneath there because it's lifting up. It's a different type of paper. Okay. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for coming and spending some time with me. See if it's along this whole thing here. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, thanks for being with me, sticking with me. I appreciate all of you. And I really am having a lot of fun, and you get to be with me, and that makes it even more fun. So until the next video, do something every day that you love to do, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.